The
Traveling.
Boom,
Traveling.
boom.
Astoria.
Astoria. Salve to all Astorians, Humi, internationals, and anyone else really that is tuning in back into this sixth broadcast. Yes, we're all the way up to six broadcasts of our very own favorite show, Blueberry and
Pinkho.
yes,
Hello,
thank you.
everyone.
Thank you, my co-host. I am Akritious Invictus, Imperator, Regent, and Senator of the Imperium of Astoria.
And I'm Akihiro Tsumikami, also senator and former Humi prime minister. And this week we have a very special guest, an infamous person of Astoria. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, I am the Father Zoar, currently oldest member of Astoria, longest reigning Imperator of ex-Imperator of Astoria, current head of the Astorian religion, senator, all around swell guy, and a man of much renown and charisma.
Well, that is quite the introduction. I think all
You
of our
summed it
viewers
up.
have to admit. Yeah. As a summarization of sorts. Well, first and foremost, we must thank you for appearing in today's broadcast and being our guests. So we really appreciate that. Um,
Thank you for having me.
oh well,
Of
uh,
course.
of course.
It's an honor.
It is. It is. It really is. So we've prepared for you some questions here, and we'll go right ahead with those questions. Um, and of course, then we'll go to our usual standard news segment where we go into the news of the week, where we'll keep you around, and then we'll go to the hoots and, just the usual bit. But we'll just have you around. We'll hope for some commentary of yours. If any other questions come up, we'll ask those as well. So, everything sound good?
Sounds good to me.
Alrighty. Also,
Let's do
before
this.
we begin with any of the segments, I'd like to put out there that we are looking for writers here in the Traveling Historian. So, if you're a person and you're interested in writing for the news, you're interested in being actively involved into the newsletter, please contact us. Here at the Traveling Historian, or even just for once or twice, if you want to report some news to us, please write a ready segment and we will possibly include it. Anyways, would you like to go ahead with the questions, my fellow co-host?
Yes, let's do this. So, Zoar, as of course you're the head of it, can you please tell us what has been the progress seen in Bellatism in the latest months?
Actually, it's been surprisingly good relative to historical progress. We have counted now 3 high priests. Once we have 5, we'll actually be able to assemble a council of high priests, so that's saying something. Okay, technically Corbin isn't a high priest yet, but he's nearly there. He needs to do a test and a few rituals, and he's there. So I have faith in the lad. Outside of that, we have our official first and only nun. And as it turns out, one who's quite proficient in calligraphy, making, art, and other things of such a sort. Outside of that, we are actually writing down the Bellatis lore. It is no longer going to be a purely oral tradition. In
Thank
fact,
God for that.
we've written down a whole 5 rap cycles.
By good
Now,
God.
instead of needing to memorize 142, you only need to memorize 142 minus 5. Uh, let's see. Outside of that, a lot of construction work's been going on in terms of cathedrals, temples, other such stuff. After the lore gets written down, there are a fair few people who actually want to become priests, and there are a few people who are inquiring to become priests even now, to the point where we're actually probably going to have to improve our training program somewhat. We're making major progress in terms of preparing to do some events, and we're hoping to get our hands on some RP tokens, maybe even to get some moderator help with that. Really, things are going great. And get this, for the first time in an age, new lore has actually been added to the greater Bellatus canon. I know, absolutely
Whoa.
shocking. So I suppose what I'm trying to say is, join Bellatism, submit to the church, do it now.
You heard it here first, pals. You heard it here first. Join Pelotism, submit to the church. Put it on a t-shirt, put it on a mug, put it on a flag. Um, Alrighty, so well, it's been a pretty loaded first question, but we have a couple more, so let's get into those. So, how does Bellatism in its current form compare to its zenith in older stories? So, how does its current like peak influence compare to back in the day, essentially?
Okay, in terms of influence, I'd argue it is probably marginally lesser, just in the fact that my influence is marginally lesser, and a lot of Bellatism's influence is tied to me. Like, it isn't just like, oh yeah, I can just, well, actually, I still can, like, just make laws, but it would not be as easy as it was before. With that said, just in terms of like active like membership, in terms of people actively doing things, in terms of people who are engaged, who want to learn, who want to contribute to it, I'd argue now is probably the best it's ever been.
I see. I see.
Uh, and really, like, the thing is, like, the more priests we get, the more people we get contributing, like, the influence will grow over time, just naturally. It doesn't need to be, like, some artificial thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say that's
Hmm.
a pretty good overview at the very least.
That's good. Well, I think the question that's been on my mind the most is, can you confirm the existence of Dracaru mugs? And also, is the prohibition of the Dracaru body pillow, is that final?
In regards to the body pillow, if I catch a single person who ever tries to manufacture one, I will personally have our most creative minds invent new and excruciating torture methods just to kill them more slowly and painfully. Okay, the thought never really crossed my mind, but yeah, if anyone wants to make a Dracaru mug, like, after a design is finalized, like, just make sure it's actually an accurate depiction, yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah,
I see.
expand the franchise. Speaking of
Yeah.
expanding the franchise, what are the plans for the new mass you have in place?
Well, I was actually working with that with some of our best in terms of high priests. Currently, we only have a rough outline because I want you to appreciate, as much as Bellatism is a top-down religion, I am trying to encourage people really to add a texture and a flavor to it on the local individual level. I put a great deal of faith in our priests because of the rigorous training process we have to ensure that they adhere to doctrine. So the thing is, I really kind of want them to add their own regional flavor to it, even as much as we are still unified as a singular body towards a singular purpose. So that is to say, we do have a rough outline planned out already. I am currently working in terms of scheduling with one of my most trusted high prophets to see if we can't get a test run to get some people who like I know are loyal and like faithful to the religion, so that we can get them all together and try to hammer out like a test run, make sure everything's going well, make sure the timing's right, make sure the ideas we have are going to work out. But in terms of when we are actually going to do it, most likely it's going to happen at some point on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, though. Admittedly, that is hard to say because it largely is dependent on the priest in question. With that said, I really do hope you like Kabuki theater.
I see.
We do in the shogunate.
You do it in the shogunate. I didn't know that. Okay.
We enjoy a bit of kabuki theater.
I'm learning new things, bro. I really am.
There you go.
Yeah, there I go. Alrighty. So next question, I suppose, on the board is, well, what do you hope to see in the Bellatist faith in the next few months, or, well, you could even expand on that and say years, like what is that? What are your
Yeah.
hopes or your plans for it? Maybe personal plans?
Realistically, hopes and plans. I want to try and get Bellatism, as in the greater Bellatist canon lore, I want to get that written out. Because fundamentally speaking, one of the biggest prohibitors is either you spend a really, really long time explaining the lore, or alternatively, you have to gloss over a bunch of stuff. And then obviously you get into the problem of like a never-ending game of telephone. And so the reason I want to write the lore is not only does it allow me to breathe some measure of life into it that might be lost in a summary or a glossing over, it lets people really try and consume it at their own pace. It lets them study it if they really wish to. And it helps solidify things into like a standardized format so that we actually have a reference by which to draw back to. And it also gives a mechanism by which it can be expanded in the future without causing a lot of issues. So all that is something I really want to do. In terms of other things, I want to try to get more people trained up, both in terms of low and high level priests, because the high level priests really, like, they're not just important in terms of I actually trust them in terms of their feedback on the lore, but they're equally important in terms of their administrative function. Because I want to get low-level priests. I want to get low-level priests into town, people who are excited, people who want to do things. Because fundamentally speaking, like, one man can do a lot, but one man is not a nation.
Mm-hmm.
One man is not a movement. One man, it is through his ability to inspire and lead others that a man can achieve much. And in that regards, I hope that people are able to take what I have made and are able to use that and build off of that to do fun things in their town. I want to see like Bellatism really become a positive force in Astoria for like building up infrastructure, for having fun events, for like bringing people together as a community, and also that we might be able to even potentially expand into other nations, send out missionaries, like really make something really that's special, like a religion of a different character than the sort you normally see on stoneworks, be that ones like with a pole so high up that's coming out their mouth, or alternatively ones that are like meme religions. I want something of a special character, and I think we really can achieve that. In terms of other things, and I am working with our resident nun on this, we are developing interesting calligraphy styles. We're going to start working on making manuscripts and documents to give it a more flavorful appearance. We're working on illustrations, both in terms of landscapes and characters. We're working on maps and other such things. And so the idea is not just to make this like, oh, we have these ceremonies and we do these things, but to really make it like a living, active community that's excited, that wants to contribute, that wants to make things, that wants to add to it. Because whilst I am picky in what is allowed to it, that's because I believe there's a high bar and I want people to aspire to it and to reach it and to surpass it, not because I don't want people to contribute to it. So more than anything, if I had to sum it up into a single thing, what I'd really say in terms of what I'd like to see, I'd like to see people who are excited to learn and who are excited to add to it in a way that both honors what has come before, but also grows and adds onto it in a way that is satisfying, in a way that is meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to see.
Wow, I'm very passionate.
Indeed, indeed. On that note, right, as the religion is growing and as more things are being added on top of it, what would you say are currently or potentially the biggest vices befalling the faith or the people of the faith? And how can they be avoided or mitigated if there are any?
Uh, I honestly, vices, I wouldn't really say we are having a major issue with that. I'd say the biggest thing is probably people's willingness to try and turn Drakaru into body pillows or things of the sort,
Mm-hmm.
and that is something that really needs to stop. And it's really just simple as like looking inward and reflecting and wondering why you're such a distorted, disgusting person, and just saying no. Like really, it's
Okay,
quite
you gotta
an
hide
easy
yours,
thing.
man.
It just requires a bit of inward like self-reflection here. It really, this
Indeed.
shouldn't be an issue. I shouldn't even have to be talking about this. Like I wish I didn't have to talk about this, but please stop.
You know, when you get to a certain age, you get urges. You gotta fulfill them in some way. So people
Yes,
just
this is
looking
not
for
a
that
healthy way
outlet.
to do so. This is not a healthy outlet. This is not. Don't. This is the wrong outlet.
Well, you heard it from the father himself, so
Yeah, you did
think.
hear it from the father himself. If you had some hope in your heart about Drakaru body pillows, just please erase it. There will be no such
Your
no such
heart and your
blessing.
balls.
Or well, we have women listeners, I would hope. But yes.
Okay,
Um,
I'll just leave it. I'll leave it there.
Alrighty. Oh, and on that note, of course, the fact that we now have nuns, um, that does open the door for more women to be involved in the religion as nuns in the clergy. Yes.
Yes.
Hmm.
So it is very important to note that the priesthood and the nuns are to remain two separate orders that do not intermingle or interact in any capacity as much as can possibly be avoided.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Alrighty. Then, unless my dear co-host here has any more questions on the matter, or you, Zor, have any further statements that you would like to make, as we close off the interview, then we can move on to the next segment.
I do have one little thing I'd like to say.
Of course.
Ignore all subtext. Ignore all possible seeming. Bellatism is definitely not evil. It is certainly not evil. Ignore what your eyes and your ears tell you. I care about truth, not about facts. That's what I tell you, not the very obvious subtext. That's all.
Right. It's even corrupting his mic.
This is great. It really is. We have our last corrupting Zor's mic. They really don't want this information to go public.
We gotta move on to the news. We gotta go.
We
What can I
gotta.
say? My presence is too powerful. I'm building momentum. I'm building mass. I'm cultivating mass
Oh,
here.
shit.
It's just momentum. It can't be stopped.
Yeah. As a very last thing before we go into the news, yes, please, everyone, if you're an Astorian and you haven't been inducted into Bellatism yet, we welcome you with open arms. I love doing the inductions myself, so if you could apply and join the Discord as soon as possible, that would be great. Anyways, let's get to the news.
Become a follower of tension.
Okay.
If you do that, you have to move over to like the what is it, Pinkho?
The Humi Shogunate. Okay.
None of that on here.
Whatever the shogunate's called. I don't really know. I don't keep track of these things. I am 400 years old. Cut me some slack. In any case, yeah. If you want to convert to them, you gotta move there.
Indeed. I shall begin with the appointments in Dionica, I suppose, because in the Marble City of Dionica, local governance elections have concluded. The city is infamous amongst the other cities in the Imperium for having a much more rigid and thought out local system of governance. Others just simply take the national template that is given to any new city and they just apply that. However, Dionica does have some extra additions onto the system, some regular elections. And I believe those elections have ended today, as of the day of this very recording. And the results on the matter are quite clear. Doug has been elected the Father Judge, the Praepanitor of the city, and a guy named Dude has been elected the Town Builder, apparently. So, well, good for them.
A dude named Dude.
Yeah, a dude named Dude, indeed. Happy for them. Hope to see some more from them. And on that same note, Zor, would you have any statements to make about your own local governance now that you've recently been made a senator of a mainland claim once again?
Basically, until we actually put houses, there aren't going to be people. Until there are people, it's just going to be me, and I see no point to make rules that just apply to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Well, speaking of Dionica, less so happy news. Theus Duck's senator is dead. Tragic events cannot catch a break, as even in the peaceful and uneventful week we have had, another death has occurred in the political world. Theus Dux was found dead in Dionica and has been succeeded by his son, Alethius Dux. The murder is still being investigated with no statements out yet.
Sad. However, I have to note, Alethius does kind of translate to grinder in Greek, so I don't know what you make of that. I don't know what you
He
guys
grinds
make
his Dracaru body pillow.
He grinds something. He grinds something. We don't need to specify, but that is the case, if that is indeed the name that the son has chosen. Indeed. All right. Moving on. Theft laws in New Helos. After 2 years of lawlessness and kind of self-imposed justice, really vigilantism, New Helos has decided to take a new turn, and its mayor, Mr. Bond, has decided that the local governance should gather up together and state some kind of on-paper de jure law that they can go up against theft due to recent spike in petty theft in the city.
Sparti Consilia registration. There's been a turn of events because this week we have an unusually early candidate registration for council elections. This is to give candidates a better time frame to campaign, so make sure to visit the announcement page and register as a candidate if you wish to be elected or run for the first time in our glorious Common Council.
Yeah, pretty much positive change up and coming in the Common Council, just giving the councillors, the ones that wish to be elected for the first time or the ones wishing to be re-elected, just more time to campaign, present themselves, just practice the democratic system a little more properly. Just a all around good change. But moving on, there are some more news actually up from our brothers from the north, the northwestern Talassi vassals of ours, Envia. They form a new government after essentially reforming their government initially into a more test drive democratic system. Now they've decided to full on merge with another state and just kind of go full democratic or just really change up the government. So this article is more or less the official statement released by the new governmental body. That is still an Astorian vassal. Not much has changed in that regard. So let me read. Today, the talks of a united Anarium government have ended, and so it has been finalized into the Treaty of Anarium. Laheda will become the base of governance and headquarters for the ministry, along with the new construction of a new parliament. We hope this newly founded confederation will prosper under this leadership. Astoria will officially keep its vassalization of both Envia and the newly formed state of Anarium. Anarium will officially keep Envia's newfound semi-isolationism, even though it changes really nothing at all, lol, by Ekap Orne Beon, will continue as the official news broadcast. And so the electric shock spreads, is what they say up in Envia. The people's lands will prosper in harmony. And I see they've gotten a brand new flag out of this merge, so I suppose the previous one has been rejected.
And I was saying before, now that they've got a new flag, the amazing art they did is a bit irrelevant now, but oh well.
I'm not gonna quite throw it away. It's still pretty good, like vintage art. We're just gonna keep
But
it.
yeah.
More. Yeah.
The rumor going around this week concerns the Imperial Triad. For the past months or so, Imperatio Tue Prudentia has been eerily absent from most court happenings, other than those concerning himself. Our sources claim he may be planning a grand return in the following days, and we will await him with open arms because this is great news. We truly hope he's back. I know Akri is so tired.
Oh my god. Jack, please get unbanned, bro. You can't do your job no more, bro. Please. Alright, so moving to the shout out of the week. This is actually the first shout out we do for Corman, even though we've glazed him so much. So Cormanus Zor of Valorous. Here's your shout out for the week for, well, essentially more or less completing the high priest training, the 25 or 30 hours or so of oral training required to become a high priest. My good God. Cormanu Zor, who was, of course, recently adopted under our very own guest's family. Family name, and most probably one of the very last high priests to ever be trained in the oral tradition, as we are writing the lore down as it is right now of the greater Bellatis canon, and it is very likely that by the time we find the next candidate for the high priesthood, the entirety of the lore has been written down, and so very probable that he's the very last to be trained in this torturous manner. But yes.
But Zor, what were you telling me before about how many pages you've done?
Basically, all I was trying to say is that so far I've written down like 4.5 Wrath cycles, and it is already over 30 pages. And mind you, these are some of the shorter ones.
Oh my God.
To be entirely frank, there is a very good reason why this was previously used as a mechanism of punishment for breaking the religious law. It was an extremely effective one. No one ever broke the religious law twice after it. It is interesting to write down, and it is regrettable that nobody else is ever going to experience having this explained in my lovely voice, but I think in the end it's a good change.
Yeah, God.
Oh, well. Well, that will be it for the news segment, yeah. That will be it. if we could move
I,
on to
let's do the poll of the week, I think,
the poll of the week
because
first. Okay, let's do that.
I've been at the edge of my seat. We've had one of the most controversial polls we've ever had. There was a huge outrage
Before
and
before
multiple
you
things.
say before you say it, like how contested was it? Like how many names were thrown around?
Okay, I'll tell you. Well, first of all, it had 31 responses, which is the most we've had
Oof.
so far.
Oof.
It beats our first poll from our first broadcast, which had 28. Let me count the different ones. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different like responses, but not 9 different names. For example, a lot of them were "please stop," "no one," "what the fuck," "none," "none," "fuck off." So
We did have some people from the Rathia
yeah.
from Rathia button. But yes.
But yeah, the question for those who can't recall, Magpie, our new Bellatis non, has been drawing some amazing art for our citizens, one including Bradley pregnant. So the question was, who should Magpie draw pregnant next? So I said some of the other ones. The only other name who isn't in the top 3 is you, Zohar. One person put you. You got 3.2% of the
Wow.
vote. Any
If
response?
If I find out who this person is, I will task the brightest minds of Astoria to figuring out new and creative ways to punish him. It may very well be, even after the Bellatis lore is written, we still just tell him the whole thing anyways, sheerly out of spite.
Well, luckily for this person, the poll is anonymous, so I think they might be getting away with it unless they want to admit. But yeah, let's get into the results.
Mhm.
In third place, with 9.7% of the results, was our previous guest, Keshik, the King of Rethia, who volunteered himself to be one of the options instead of the comments, like the open text. So there you go, Keshik. You got some votes. Some people want to see you pregnant. Maybe
Okay.
Rethians, maybe not. But there's an audience for you out there.
Mhm.
Um, okay, this is what people have been waiting for. So the controversy was Ramjet was one of the options,
Mhm.
and there was a huge sort of bite back by a percentage of the population, and there were multiple pings and lesser announcements. So people wanted to vote for Minister Mude instead to try and counteract the crowd for Ramjet. So
Mhm.
let's see who won. The winner had 45.2% of the vote.
Oh my god. Yeah.
The second place had 25.8% of the vote. And I can reveal the winner of Who Should Magpie Draw Pregnant was Mewed. He beat
Oh my
out
god.
Ramjet.
Oh my god.
Ramjet got 25.8% of the
Oh
vote.
my
Mewed got
god.
45.2% of the vote. Almost half, I might add. That's quite a big turnaround.
Oh my
Um,
god.
so there you have it.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
And you believe it.
No, I can't.
Maybe
I honestly thought it was Ramjet. I honestly thought it was
no.
Ramjet.
The
Oh my
man
god.
took on the sins of the nation that others might not suffer.
He bears a
Truly a noble
cross.
soul.
He bears a cross that none of us shall ever know. Oh my god. Oh my god. I have to take a
Well,
moment.
Ramjet, you survived this one, but the body pillow is still in production. You can't stop that. Um, but it's time for this week's poll. You know what, Zor? Why don't you take it away? What is this week's poll?
Okay. How many times have you gambled away your life savings this week? Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 or more, or as many as Bradley has? Please let us know.
There you have it. Thank you very much, Zor. This comes, of course, after the many gambling events in the last week. So, how
All
many did
instigated
you
by
win?
one person.
But yes, that is our poll. Thank you very much, everyone. And I think it's time we can move on to our sponsor segment, Hooter. Woo!
Hooter! Woo, woo,
Give it
woo.
up for Hooter. But before we get into the actual hoots, I just want to say we had a bunch of comments on last week's broadcast, which we very much appreciate. A lot of Rethians showing love and support. It's great to see a bit of unity between our two nations. So thank you
Of
very
course.
much. But
Of course.
Akri, kick us off with the first hoot of the week.
All right. All right. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go. I'm letting it rip. Letting it rip. Okay. By Douglas Jeremias at Totally Not Blackrock at the 29th of July. I think we should make an investigation into Akihiro Tsumikami over the poll in the most recent Blueberry and Pinkho broadcast. Why you specifically?
Yeah,
I'm
I
not.
think not. I don't. There's no need for an investigation over me. I've denied all allegations. You know, this is what I said. Don't hate the player, hate the
Hate
game.
the
Okay.
game. Yeah, yeah. Fair.
I didn't vote for Ramja personally. Okay. In fact, I
Mhm.
didn't vote at all. So it's not me who's voting for him. It's the participants. You got to find who. There's 8 people who want Ramjet pregnant. So
I
you
God
want
got to
to
come
damn.
up
bring it
with
up
that.
for our listeners. I want to take a moment to say, when you stand before the Lord, you have no excuse or no, you cannot say, oh, this person told me to do this. Oh, I did this on this person's behalf. You must answer for what you have done. Remember that.
Very ominous
Well,
warning
you
from
heard it
Storm.
here for your you heard it here first, dear listeners. One day you will have to act to answer for for your actions, and God may not be so merciful. Well,
No, no.
go ahead, Luca,
Uh,
take us away.
Yeah, okay. Let's move on from this one. I want to cut all allegations. Although I did have a great meme generated from this with my profile picture saying worse than
Worse than
Epstein.
Epstein?
So
Question mark.
thank you very much for whoever made that. I think it might have been Corman. I don't know. But Hooter has been completely dominated this week by our resident Hooter #1 poster, Mr. Bond, at the Glorious King of New Helos. So he's been on a rampage declaring war on Juan del Serre, the former prime minister, who's long dead, by the way, of the Humi shogunate.
Oh, just
There's
casting out a
pictures of
dead
him
person.
saying,
Great.
"Where you at, Juan del Serre?" With him fully kitted out in Haikato. I declare war on Juan del Serre and his kin. I'm hereby hunting down Juan del Serre and his king in self-defense for threats made upon me. It is my right to defend myself. For evildoers, and then I call for the execution of Juan del Serre. Hashtag kill Juan del Serre. It's a big hatred. And then I like Juan del Serre's response. I don't know how he's replying because he's dead, but he's just added an image of what it seems to be the profile of a Roblox game, which says cart ride into 17 pregnant hyenas. So thank you for your contribution on Hooter. And there's been a strong theme of pregnancy this week. I don't know what's going on about that, but thank you. Thanks for your hoots, guys.
Thank you
So
indeed.
entertaining.
Thank you indeed. So those were the hoots for the week. It's just 2 hoots. Really?
Well,
Well, no.
if you guys want to check Hooter, there's a lot of hoots
Oh yeah,
between
there's a lot.
Bond, Juan. There's some other ones, but yeah, like just one from Johnny Boy, Gas, Invictus, Raw,
Oh yeah, of
Pinkho's
course, of
Raw.
course, of course.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
and
average players.
after we do the legal on it, it was almost certain that it will go international. So we're bound to see some new fellas pop in
Yes.
the next month or so. So hold on for that and be ready for this to kind of take off. Alrighty. So would that be all the segments we have prepared for the day?
I do believe so. Anything else you want to say, Zor? Anything?
No, I believe I'd said my piece. Thank you very much for having me. It was an
All
absolute
right.
pleasure.
And one
Of
last
course.
time, for anyone listening, we are looking for writers. Even if you have one-off news to report for 1 week, writing one article for us is really helpful. Really helps us have a better insight into your news and less workload on our backs. So please consider
Yes.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
All
well,
right.
thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week, I guess. Can we get an Impera Astoria from you, Zor?
Actually, if you want, I will give you a rare treat. I will even sing the Astoria anthem. I'm in back in
Oh
the mood.
my goodness.
Will that be the outro? Will that be the outro for the day? Question mark.
Why not a double whammy? Why not a double whammy?
Why not?
Now, give me just a moment.
Oh my god.
Tell the story of sacred land.
Everyone stand up.
Hail ye heroes, legionnaire band, who served and won Astoria's cause, who served and won Astoria's cause, and when the storm of war was was here, you showed no mercy and no fear. Let independence be our boast. Every soldier mans his post. From Russia to Spartica, protecting all Astoria. Firm united we shall be, rallying round security. Fates of heroes intertwined, strength and glory shall be thine. Yes, strength and glory shall be thine.
Excellent. Excellent.
Beautiful.
Brings a
Tears
tear
in
to
my
my
eyes.
eyes. Yeah, tears to my eyes.
Yeah.
I hope everyone
Same
stood up
here.
for this segment of the national anthem, and of course, we'll see you at the next broadcast. Impera Astoria, salvete, and see you next time.
Impera Astoria.